We are looking at what Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's political tightrope will be in the budget that he will present on the 28th of February. Will he have more elbow room to come out with the reforms and with the big ticket announcement, or will he be on the back foot after the recent defeat in Delhi elections and elections coming up in both Bihar this year as well as West Bengal early next year? How Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has planned this entire thing out. We saw after the last session of Parliament that he went ahead with the ordinances on land acquisition, ordinances on insurance policy, on the coal bill. All of that has come through the ordinance. But we are back to square one in this budget session. How do you see the political tightrope in terms of the further reform measures that the finance minister needs to take, given that he already has a baggage of these reforms to see through?
You know, when they did the ordinances, I said this is a sign of weakness, not of strength. This is a government which knows it will need something special to get those things passed. Now, I think after the Delhi defeat, the Rajya Sabha is not going to be better behaved. It has no reason to be better behaved. So the government to get something will have to be much more emollient, much more accommodating to what the opposition says. And the opposition will have to be given its pound of flesh if the government wants to get anything done, especially on the land bill. Insurance they may just get. But the land bill is going to be the real problem because it's already been in the Rajya Sabha.
Omkar, do you think on insurance they will be able to get their way across, given the fact that when the Congress was in power, when the UPA government was there, it was the BJP that stalled the insurance. So isn't it payback time?
No, it's a tough time. I think the payback time has nothing to do with Mr. Arun Jaitley. The fact of the matter is, if I have a party which says opposition mukt sarkar, Congress mukt sarkar, opposition mukt sarkar, where I'm working hard at winning Bihar, I'm working hard at winning West Bengal, then in the interregnum between now and those elections, you are not going to have the Rajya Sabha MPs from JDU or from Trinamool being very accommodating to you for passing of non-money bills, right? So the basic problem is, how do I become statesman-like and get your friendship when you know that I'm going to fight with you to finish you off?
Now, that's certainly not going to happen in the budget. Dr. Rajiv Kumar, I mean,
doesn't matter.
Is there a formula where statesmanship can actually win them a few, few votes in Rajya Sabha so that they can actually see some of these bills through?
Look, let me outline for you a scenario which I think is workable, which is that they've got about 7 or 8 ordinances already there. So for that, the government should have a joint sitting of the two houses and pass these. Along with that, they should have a budget which really gets the growth going by re-triggering investment, private and public sector. With these two things in your bag, in your pocket, under your belt, you've really got the economy now on a good momentum going forward. You don't really have to do very much about it. The economy will take care of itself after that. Then what you could do is to become statesman-like and behave as if you are running a coalition government. So you appease all the regional parties, you be nice to them, you start making deals. And if you do that after May, which is when the budget session ends, and until October, you're home, you're
So
home
you're
dry.
saying the statesmanship game should actually come in after the budget to see through and after the joint sitting of Parliament to see through all the pending ordinances.
The statesmanship is in doing the joint session and telling the people of this country and the rest of the world we are serious about India's growth and India's taking off. Having done that, then you can go back to and playing the coalition game. I'll take everybody.
I pray you're right. I pray you're right, but I think it's going to be extremely difficult to get a joint session of Parliament in a situation where a country is not facing an external emergency. I don't think the president is going. No, they have been, but I don't think the president is going to be that willing to do so. And so back to the question you asked me, I think the insurance one will pass. The land one is
So
a tough act.
can we never see political parties from across the spectrum to come together for something that's in national interest?
It's happened in the past.
It's happened in the past,
Of
but
course.
are we seeing something like that which could happen this time around? Is it realistic to imagine that the Congress could come and give its support on the insurance bill?
Yeah, but it will not do so on the land
Insurance bill,
ordinance
yeah.
bill.
Not on the
It
land.
will not.
And if it doesn't do on the land ordinance bill, this government cannot get the manufacturing sector going. It's a Luddite bill,
Yeah.
as it is.
The
So it
land-
has to get that done.
Land
And
they
how
won't
do you get it done?
Land
So
they
you're
won't get.
saying getting one bill through is not what the government wants. It needs to get the other
Yes,
bills
they
through
have
as
to get
well.
land through.
And they have to get the insurance through.
You know,
you see?
I think being a new
get the
government,
report
there are
through.
two disadvantages. Opposition still doesn't trust them. There's still that antagonism. And secondly, they really don't know their parliamentary mechanism. Because some of the time, Rajya Sabha can insist that they will take their 6 months before they agree to a joint session. I mean, this constitution has been written in a very careful way. And it's not like, and somebody told them, oh, you have to get a joint session, you pass the bill. It's not that
It's not that easy. It's not
It
that
is
easy.
not that simple. And therefore, they will have to learn a lot on the job. First, to be nice to everybody, and secondly, work out what is the minimum hardcore reforms they need. Let them argue for that. They will not get.
So I
was
what I would say is
I was
not
very
what-
encouraged by Mr. Venkaiah Naidu on yesterday's on one of the channels saying that the government will ensure that the existing laws as passed with the ordinance will continue as laws. Now that
No,
means
where
that
there
means
are other options.
There are other options. They can
After the parliament session, you can bring in another ordinance
They
and
can
continue. Those provisions,
don't
those
work.
provisions
Those
are
don't work.
always there.
The
Those don't
president
work.
doesn't have to.
So-
The president doesn't have to sign that. Sorry.
The very important
Had
thing,
no
and
choice.
this is something we don't know. The very important thing is whether the Prime Minister can tell some gentleman in Nagpur and also tell the president of his party to be a little quiet while he turns on his wider charm and his nation building thing to get things passed. Whether that is successful or not, time will tell. But if it is not successful, then you will not expect people in Rajya Sabha to do things in a cooperative manner.
So the tightrope, the political tightrope does exist for both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Whichever way you look at it, ordinances and a joint sitting of the parliament is not an easy solution. It's not something that can just be done, as a normal routine thing. So we are looking, and if these ordinances of insurance and the Land Acquisition Act are not converted into bills and passed as acts in the parliament, then we once again see a big impediment to the growth. So the challenges there for Finance Minister Arun Jaitley in this session, challenges go beyond just the budget document. The challenges go in the management of the numbers that the government